course, sometimes the lines between a normal person and a dark psychologist can blur. And it's also possible to manipulate others to exact fair revenge or for personal defense. Yet, let's not get lost in a sea of relativism, and let's be realistic. Some people are darker than others and manipulate far more than others. And the opposite is true. Some people have stronger values and ethics, and you can more reliably expect them to be honest and fair. Now let's quickly review some myths of dark psychology. 1. Dark psychology for social manipulation. Dark psychology in social settings consists of strategies and techniques to manipulate people to do what's good for the dark psychologist, but harmful for the victims. Robert Greene, author of The 48 Laws of Power, says that persuasion is manipulation. But we think that not only we can differentiate between the psychology of persuasion and the psychology of manipulation, but that we must differentiate between the two. The difference between persuasion and manipulation is that persuasion does not necessarily harm the target of persuasion, or at least, the persuader is not out to willingly harm the target of his persuasion. Manipulation instead entails a loss for the victim of manipulation. That loss can be financial, material, emotional, or loss in his personal power or freedom. In short, persuasion does not harm people, while manipulation does. At times, that line can be up to interpretation and framing, and persuasion and manipulation can also overlap. But the line between persuasion and manipulation is not infinitely elastic, and many times, it's pretty easy to differentiate between persuasion and manipulation. For example, it would be much harder for a tobacco company to frame themselves as helping people enjoy life. And it's next to impossible for an abusive man to convincingly make the case that his manipulations for relationship control is for helping his partner staying with the high-quality man he is. Both persuasion and manipulation are highly relevant for power dynamics. Manipulative dark psychology techniques. On this video, we talk a lot about things like persuasion, negotiation strategies, power dynamics, and, as well, manipulation. Some examples of manipulative techniques that dark psychologists might use. Manipulative negotiation techniques. How manipulation is used to gain an advantage in negotiation's guilt-trip power move. When you have no real power, use this pity play to make people feel bad and do what you want out of guilt. Social scalper. Inflate what you did for others to acquire more social exchange credits than you're due. This one exploits the reciprocity principle to get back more than you've given feminist manipulation. Tell other women to be strong and independent so that dating gets harder for the target, but easier for the manipulator. Please note that many people will use these techniques without even knowing their names. They just have a natural feel for manipulation. 2. Dark psychology in dating. Dark psychology in dating applies psychological principles to meet one's own sexual strategies at the detriment of the dating partner. Dating between men and women presents common objectives as well as some diverging interests. For example, men gain from having sex ASAP. Women lose men gain from sex without commitment. Women lose women gain from lots of investment before sex. Men lose women gain when men in their lives dote on them. Men lose. Of course, there are exceptions. And there are plenty of ways to smoothen out the divergences, with collaborative frames, for example. But the above statements are still true plenty of times to make dating a fertile ground for manipulators and dark psychologists. The dark psychologist dates with complete disregard of the well-being of their dating partner, while seeking to exclusively maximize their own self-interest. The male dark psychologist strings her along without a relationship. He lies about his future goals and plans, pretends he wants to settle down, but just later seeks sex on the side. He gives commitment, but does not keep his word, very common, chameleon manipulation. He presents a mask of the man she wants, instead of the man he is. The game is to pretend there are no conflicts of interests, and that they want the same thing, which in turn helps to lower her defenses and get to sex quicker. An example of the latter, and a cheap one at that, is the man who feigns to be into long-term relationships to get women who are seeking a relationship. Like this guy, selling the ideal relationship guy. Him. Now, that's my idea of a perfect marriage. Her. Totally. He stares at her and sighs. Finally, seeking sex ASAP is not dark per se. That's just a fair and potentially smart lover strategy. But it can become dark when the man cajoles, lies, or offer fake rewards that never materialize. The female dark psychologist, among the female manipulations, position herself as the prize, reject him, feign low interest, make him chase. These all serve to keep him on his toes and make him invest. Control him through sex. Most men need sex more than women. And some women use sex, dispensed as a reward or withhold as punishment, to get what they want. She always tried how to make him crazy and how to mindfuck a guy. That should tell you a lot about women who seek to use sex to keep men around. 2.1 Dark Psychology in Seduction. Be especially careful of least common, but far more dangerous dark psychology in seduction. This is how we define dark psychology in seduction. Dark psychology in seduction seeks bonds and attachments based not on mature love and affection, but on traumatic bonds that leverages or creates psychological wounds. Some examples include regression seduction, seduction through mother-father roles, judge seductions. The individual frames himself as superior and makes the partner chase for his approval. Traumatic bonding. The individual makes their partner attached through physical and/or emotional abuse. Emotional roller coaster bonding. The individual makes their partner attached through cycles of fights and repacification. Control through personal kinks. The dark psychologist can provide sexual satisfaction through kinks that the target keeps secret. The dark psychologist becomes the only person that can sexually satisfy them. Plus, they acquire an important secret the target wishes to keep secret, which gives them leverage. Love bombing. The individual seeks to make the partner feel special and unique through a showering of endless attention and adulation. Psychopaths often use this method. Some of these techniques are sometimes deployed subconsciously, and sometimes they are even the natural consequence of an individual's psychological makeup, as it's the case with the anxious avoidant attachment, for example. But some other times, they are premeditated. Love bombing, for example, tends to be more premeditated. 3. Dark psychology in relationships. Dark psychology in relationships applies psychological principles to gain power and control one's partner. There is less conflict in relationships than in dating, but there is still some conflict. For example, each partner can gain by keeping one nominally committed relationship, with all the sexual and emotional benefits that entails, while also seeking more sex on the side. And that's why cheating exists. it can pay off. Psychological tools of female control. Women naturally deploy a set of very specific, dark, psychological tools to control their men. Gaslighting and crazy-making, including a pattern of win-loses, power hoarding, and low-quality behavior that some people also deploy in friendships and business partnerships. Males' techniques for mate control. Men more than women gain from controlling their partner, so they deploy a set of both physical and psychological tools to guard their partners. These range from outright abuse to jealous controlling, to shaming techniques, to lowering her self-esteem so that she is more dependent on him. The psychopath's control tools, which include devaluation, operant conditioning with punishment, reward drama to induce cycles of positive and negative emotions, fear of abandonment to make the partner submit, dread game.
You've just seen how manipulation shows up in social life, dating, and relationships, but it gets darker. In part 2, we're taking this into politics, war, business, places where your freedom is taken without you even noticing. Don't let them win. I'll see you in part 2.